All right, we're going to bring the work session to order, October 7, 2025. Begin with the governing body proclamation, October 28, 25. It's National First Responders Day. You notice we have a lot of special guests, which includes our county employees and city employees here today for this. Do you want me to go ahead and read the proclamation, or Jeremy's going to come up and speak? And then okay, I'll go ahead and read the proclamation because that'll make more sense. And then Mr. Dukes will come up, and we'll also have the fire marshal. I'd like to recognize our county firefighters. National First Responders Day Proclamation, October 28, 2025. Whereas first responders, including public works professionals, firefighters, police officers, emergency medical technicians, 911 operators, paramedics, and other emergency personnel, stand on the front lines of our communities, selflessly serving and protecting the citizens of Villa Rica in times of crisis. And whereas first responders respond swiftly and courageously to emergencies, often putting their own lives at risk to ensure the safety and well-being of others, whether in natural disasters, accidents, medical emergencies, or public health and safety threats. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Villa Rica to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and other first responder efforts in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 7th annual National First Responders Day, sponsored by bipartisan resolutions in the U.S. Senate and House. Be it now resolved, I, Leslie McPherson, Mayor of Villa Rica, do hereby designate October 28, 2025 as National First Responders Day. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies paying tribute to our public works first responders alongside law enforcement, firefighters, paramedics, emergency medical technicians, 911 operators, and other emergency personnel to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. We'll hold our applause till we've got them all up here, because I want to make sure they're up here and we catch them on video and everything else. Mr. Dukes, will you start with your group?
We got Public Works, we got Street Department.
Oh, you're not going to get away with staying back there. No, you got to come up. And while he's coming up, I want to give special recognition. We don't see them all that often, to Fire Marshal David Harmon, along with, we've got crew from Truck 9 and Captain Nicole Brigham, Deputy Chief Tyler Suddeth, and we appreciate y'all coming this morning and bringing the truck too. That'll get some attention downtown. Okay, Mr. Dukes.
Hello, Jeremy Dukes, Public Works, Street Department Manager. Just like to introduce the different departments we got here today. Got the Grounds Department. They're usually out here working hand in hand with everyone. Whether it's cutting trees, helping do anything, they're out there with us. Got the Street Department. We're out there clearing roads, doing whatever needs to be done, fixing potholes, you name it, we do it. And we got the Stormwater Department. Got the, may be overlooked, but you know it when it happens. If it's a problem, you can definitely see it. They work very well, getting everything took care of so that we can travel our roads without having something like that happen on there. So, anybody else that I've left out? We got the fleet maintenance also. They make sure our vehicles are prepared to go when we need them out. We often have storms that come up. We got 24 hours to get everything ready. They push everything to the front, get it ready to go. And so they're probably one of the stronger points. They make sure they got every department to look after. So police, everything. So let's see. Solid waste, same way. They're out there. They got the chainsaws, grapple truck, getting everything up. They do whatever needs to be done. And with the public works, we've all combined. I think we're one unit. So whenever something comes about, we respond. So just like
And I appreciate that, because you know what? I have to admit, I've been remiss at recognizing public works when you think about it, and having lived in a couple states between hurricanes and power being out, or being up here with the roads frozen over. You remember, y'all threw salt off the back of a pickup truck? I mean, all night long. We didn't even have the equipment. Y'all would be out there all night long doing that type of thing, or clearing the roads that we got trees falling down, knocking power lines down, everything else. And while we may not take care of the power lines themselves, so I appreciate that. Thank you. And
got one more.
oh,
We have our Miss Cindy back there. She's the hub of everything between all departments. Everything seems to run through her fluidly. So without her, I think all of our departments would have a tough time getting along.
so you good? Stay right there. Chief Harmon, would you come up and introduce your crew, and then let's have everyone come up for a picture. How's that?
Sounds
Okay.
perfect. My name is Fire Marshal Harmon. With me today I have the Deputy Chief of the Fire Department, Tyler Suddeth, Captain Nicole Brigham. She works in the Fire Marshal's office with me. And I have Truck 9, which is the ladder truck here in Villa Rica. Their crew today is Lieutenant Sinyard and Firefighter Deming and Firefighter Irick. That's us.
Okay, let's go. Everybody up here.
I'm coming to see you yesterday, but I was working.
If you come to the middle and oh yeah, we'll go on the end. If you come to the middle and if y'all would jointly hold them.
I just want to say, I think we did not intentionally mean to, but we missed the police department. So, definitely. So, we really appreciate them. But we just wanted to put that on record. We really appreciate what the police department does for all of us in the community.
Somewhere in the middle with the proclamation.
No. There you are. Wait, no.
Just stand with your hands up there.
That's mine.
All right. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, put that panoramic on.
You're gonna have to come all the way back.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm talking about
Hey, baby. Good to see you too. I like that pink. Hey, baby. Yeah, good. I like you. Hey, who it is? Who it is? Hey, baby. Hey, sweetie, how you? I'm good. How you? I'm good. How you? Hey, sweetie. Knock my thing over. Leave him alone.
I was going to say, is there any reason why we can't, if Chief would like to, that we can't do anything on the voting meeting too? I figured the reason we did this was because we're pulling so many people out of work, to be here. Right, that was item 1. We'll move on to B1, auction of non-running retired PD and fleet vehicles. Mr. Dutton, good morning.
Hello, my name's Steve Dutton, the manager with Fleet Maintenance, and the purpose of this is to make additional space in the Avanti building by auctioning our surplus and non-running vehicles on govdeals.com. We have used GovDeals online auctions with good success since '09 to auction off our used vehicles and small equipment that are no longer feasible to repair. We have 6 older vehicles that are just taking up, 5, that are just taking up space that we badly need in the Avanti building. These are 5 older fleet vehicles that are unassigned and in poor condition with high mileage and have some mechanical issues, mostly needing engine repairs, and one of them needs a transmission. We'd like to staff recommendation to let us proceed with auctioning these 5 vehicles and make more space in the Avanti building for day-to-day operations, free up parking space, and get funds for the salvage vehicles we no longer use. And I move that we approve govdeals.com to list our 5 surplus vehicles for auction to the highest bidder on their website.
Well, you may not get to make the motion, but that's okay. You advocate for it, and we don't blame you, because you have to fix them.
Yeah.
So any questions from council? Anyone opposed? Good report, thank you. It's kind of hard to argue with it. Anyone opposed to making this consent item number 1?
No.
All right, and item 2, thank you, Mr. Dutton. Announcement of citywide cleanup dates.
Good morning, Mayor, City Council. My name is Virgil Chappell. I'm the Stormwater Manager. I'm here to announce and share the dates of the annual citywide cleanup. So each year, the city allows our residents to dispose of solid waste items that are not normally picked up, like small appliances, furniture, and miscellaneous junk items. This is an important event that helps the city satisfy part of our Phase 2 MS4 stormwater permit. We also select 2 days during the event to assist senior citizens with the transportation of appliances or furniture from the front of their house to the street. You do have to sign a waiver for that special service. This year's event will be held over a 2-week period. Staff has chosen to hold our cleanup event during the weeks of October 13th and October 20th. We also would like to designate Wednesday, October 15th, and October 22nd as the days we assist senior citizens with the large item removal. To promote this, we are utilizing our website, Facebook, flyers, and we also sent out an insert with all utility bills. If y'all have any questions, I'll try to answer. There's an example of the flyer. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
So no reason people shouldn't know, because it's going to go out in everybody's utility bills.
We started sending it out last month, so I think this week or next week, I think this week is the last week that it's going out with utility bills. But if anybody has any questions, then go to villarica.org, then call City Hall, then call customer service, or like Shirley did, she can come by my office and I can help you out.
Well, you can't read.
It is the map. The map.
Oh, I know, I
so
tried to expand the map.
The map is not bad if you're on like a major road or in a big subdivision, but if you're on a little side street, it gets fuzzy. So just call City Hall, call customer service, or like I said, come by my office, we'll help you out.
I was thinking, doesn't it match with your bulk pickup?
It does with the bulk pickup, but like I said, if you're in doubt at all, just go ahead and give us a call, and we'll
Right.
get you the right date so you got the stuff out there.
Wasn't it Councilman Verlin Best that started this way back? And the whole idea was to give people that opportunity and have less illegal dumping within the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're flirting with the idea of next year adding a couple weeks. I know we talked about it, maybe doing like a spring, 2 weeks in the spring and then 2 weeks in the fall. Nothing concrete yet, but just something we're floating around.
And I think it's varied. There were times we picked up tires, there were times we weren't, but I know they can be costly, as I understand, because you have to pay a particular fee when you turn those in. Any questions from council? And if you're a senior, you need to make sure you get advance notice and that you're going to need help, because
Yeah,
they'll also need to sign that waiver.
Yeah, exactly.
No, no questions, but I would recommend next year we get this out a little earlier, because this starts next week. And
Yeah.
people need to know a little bit earlier so they can plan ahead.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we've been advertising it online and through flyers, but yeah, maybe we should mention it at the city council meeting a month prior. Just
I
like you said,
think it
just a
would help
little
the
bit of
people,
advance.
because
Yeah.
people are slow to respond to these things.
Yeah, I got you. We'll take that into consideration. I appreciate
Okay,
it.
thank you.
Appreciate that, thank you. All right, anyone opposed to making this consent item number 2? All right, C1, Development Regulations Revision. Mr. Bain.
All right. Good morning, Mayor and Council. John
Morning.
Bain, Interim Deputy City Manager, Utilities Director. We'd like to update some of our water and sewer development regulations, Section 400 and Section 500 of the city's regulations. Most of these are simple additions to our current regulations to bring things up to standard. So I'll read through these briefly. If we can start with Section 400 on wastewater, we're recommending the following additions. The city will only accept ductile iron pipe manufactured in the United States. All ductile iron pipe shall be lined with either Tnimic Series 431 Permashield or Protecto 401 ceramic epoxy. The exterior of the ductile iron pipe shall be coated with a layer of arc sprayed zinc. The mass of the zinc applied shall be not less than 3 mils with a local minimum of 2 mils. All pipes shall be manufactured and coated in the United States at the manufacturer's facility. Moving on to the next item we're recommending, speaks of our wastewater lift station standards, beginning with Section 403.11A1. Pumps shall be manufactured by Flight, Sulzer, or approved equal. Control panels shall be manufactured by Amtech, Staycon, or Flight. Regarding these wastewater lift station regulations, what we're working to do is standardize based on what we currently have in the field. We have 32 wastewater lift stations. Each one has a minimum of 2 pumps, some have more. So we're just looking to standardize the types of pump, the types of panels. It helps us with inventory, it helps us with maintenance, with training our technicians to maintain these, if we can keep these as standard as possible. So that's the purpose of that note. If I can move on to the next section, which is item D on standby power. We're recommending the inclusion of a dry prime pump with silent pack or a generator with owner approval, and the dry prime pump shall be manufactured by Godwin or approved equal. We're eliminating Baldor as our generator, as they had recently sold out to another firm. So we would like to remove that from our specifications. Moving on to item D4, generators and dry prime pumps shall have 200 gallons minimum fuel capacity. We're simply adding the dry prime pumps, as well as with item 5, generators and dry prime pumps shall have a minimum 5-year manufacturer warranty. Moving on to design features of lift stations, item F2, for wet wells, the minimum requirement shall be a single 6-inch stainless steel vent with stainless steel mesh screen designed for natural ventilation. We're moving away from other pipe materials to stainless steel. Item G, J, again, speaks of stainless steel. Each pump shall be equipped with a stainless steel chain as opposed to galvanized chain. On to the electrical for the lift stations. Lift station controls and electrical components shall be three-phase power. The cabinet shall be provided with a securing door handle. Item 7, wet well level shall be controlled by a transducer with 2 sealed mercury tube float switches for high and low level alarms. And then item number 8 under electrical, the pump control system shall include a time mark controller or approved equal, again for standardization. And item G, the handoff auto switch shall be have a run light for each pump unless incorporated with the time mark controller. So that's all of our recommendations on wastewater regulations. We only have 2 on section 500, the water regulations. The first is simply the removal of item 505.13, which speaks to meter yokes. We'd like to take that section out. The section said yokes for 3/4 services shall include iron bar Ford Y502P, ball valve Ford B94 223WR, and a dual check valve Ford HHS91 323 dual. We don't use meter yokes anymore. We haven't in some time, so I want to remove that from our regulations. And then the last item to speak of deals with fire hydrant painting. And first, this is strictly for new development. So this doesn't necessarily impact all of the fire hydrants we currently have. We'd like to, over time, go back as we test and maintain our hydrants, bring those up to code as well. But this is speaking to new fire hydrant install. Our current regulations call for hydrants to be painted silver. In speaking with Carroll County, their recommendation is that we revise that to paint all fire hydrants red. Douglas County's current Unicode states for them to be painted silver, by the way. Just wanted to clarify that. So what we're looking at right now are the NFPA standards on hydrant painting, which is a yellow hydrant body with the bonnets painted based on the flow. And you can see black would be out of service, red less than 500 gallons a minute, orange for anything between 500 and 1,000, green over 1,000, blue for over 1,500. So what a lot of municipalities do, and if I can back up a minute, in speaking with the Carroll County Fire Department, they're perfectly fine with all hydrants being painted red because, to their point, regardless of the paint, they're going to go to the closest hydrant and hook up, as any fire department is. They're not concerned about it being red or silver. Their specifications were for them to be painted silver a few fire chiefs ago, a few fire marshals ago, but they have since revised that to be painted red.
That's Douglas County?
That's Carroll County.
Oh, because Carroll already wants them red, correct?
Yes, they used to want them silver,
Got
which
it.
is why our spec said silver.
Got it.
They now want them painted red. So Douglas County specs do call for them to be painted silver. So the recommendation presented in this presentation is for the hydrants to be painted red, but for us to paint the bonnets of the hydrant based on NFPA codes and standards, which is common in a lot of places because a lot of utilities and municipalities do want their fire hydrants to be red. But we also, as a utility, think it'd be a great idea to indicate to the fire department what flow they can expect from that fire hydrant when they arrive at the scene, which is the purpose of these NFPA codes. So they can expect, first, primarily, most important, they need to know if the hydrant's out of service or not. And then, based on the size of the fire, they're going to want to know if they're going to get just 300 gallons a minute or if they can get 1,300 gallons a minute out of that hydrant. That would be relevant for them to know. So, again, the recommendation is for, again, new development only. The hydrants be painted red with the bonnets painted based on the flow from that hydrant so the department can know what to expect when they arrive at the scene. And then we would go back over time and, as we maintain our existing hydrants, bring those up to the standards we're discussing today. Now, speaking of Douglas County, we can really easily amend this to maintain hydrants in Douglas County to be painted silver and the bonnets painted the color based on flow. I recommended red based on what we're looking at in terms of what we expect for new development over the coming years. The vast majority of the hydrants are in Carroll County. So this was the current recommendation, but it's an easy amendment to change this to maintain hydrants in Douglas County to be painted silver. That's the last recommended change I have.
Any questions from council? Yes, Councilman McCoy?
I know this is, I'm not gonna say that. Why does Carroll County want them painted red? And I'm a visual person and I'm visualizing it in my head, and red tends to blend in more than the yellow or the silver. So I was and if it's an emergency, something's on fire, I mean, you'd want to be able to see it. But this may just be, I'm naive to the logic behind it.
No, I think in speaking with them, they previously wanted the hydrants to be painted silver, as does Douglas County today, because they believe that's easier to see at night.
Yeah,
Now, I believe Douglas County does have reflectors that they place on their hydrants,
they do.
so they can identify those more quickly, which I'm not, again, we can go back and do that for our hydrants. And these are hydrants, by the way, on the city's utility system. We have a section of the city that's on the Douglas County Water and Sewer Authority. Those hydrants would maintain the way they currently are on their system. We wouldn't repaint any hydrants that are currently on Douglas County's or on Carroll County's system. These are for our hydrants. But, yeah, and speaking with the fire marshal about it, he said they are good. They changed it from silver back to red several years ago, because that's what they're accustomed to, that's what they're used to looking for, and that's how they want to move
Okay,
forward. So,
I was just curious why.
yeah, but to his point, he also said they're going to the first hydrant. They, at the end of the day, they're going to go to the closest hydrant.
Okay.
Councilman Carter?
Okay, John, the code, the NFPA code shows a yellow hydrant with a colorful bonnet.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So you're picking up part of the code, the bonnets, but you're not picking up the rest of the code for the hydrant.
Correct. Again, when I landed on the red hydrant body, was based on conversations with Carroll County Fire Department. That's what they recommended. So I was working off of that. Now, I don't have, again, I wanted to bring this to City Council's attention. I'm perfectly okay if we go with the NFPA code. Yellow bodies, bonnets to match. I just wanted to share what NFPA code is, what Carroll County is recommending, what Douglas County does as well. And this wouldn't affect, we have typically high school art class will come paint 10 hydrants downtown annually. This doesn't affect that at all. This is just, again, for new development projects that would come in, that would approach the city that haven't already approached and been granted approval to construct. So, and then what we want to do, what we would just like to know is what council's opinion is of how we would like to move forward. We can paint them red or yellow. We can paint the bonnets. We really wanted to leave that up to mayor and council.
I just thought it was curious that the counties didn't follow the code. They didn't go with yellow.
Correct.
You pretty much answered all my questions, and I don't really feel qualified to tell the fire department and you all what color they should be, but I do kind of like the idea that we can still do some creative things downtown on some
Sure.
of them with the art students, but, I mean, they know what they want. The color coding with knowing the water pressure, that, I never even thought of that. That's probably very beneficial, so, I mean, that's where I am. I lean with what you all and the fire department feel like they need and works best for them.
I just wanted to, we're working to update our standards to current, and so I just wanted to present what Carroll does, what Douglas does, and get council's input on how we change that.
Anything else from council? So you can move ahead with your recommendations? Yes.
had a comment.
Councilman McCoy.
I do like the bonnet thing. That really seems kind of efficient, and especially for one that may not be in service, that they could easily see that I do like the bonnet idea. So I just want, since you're asking for opinions, I wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you.
I mean, truly, otherwise, the only way they'd find out is what, to pull out the hose, hook up, and then, oh, no water.
Yeah.
Out of service. That's a problem. Yeah. Are we good? Anyone opposed to making this consent item number 3? Right, that's number 3.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item D, City Manager, Ms. Hallman.
Good morning. As you know, that y'all approved a resolution last month for the Veterans Memorial Park, so that was the first step. The second step is now having a legal rental agreement with the Veterans, Villa Rica Military Veterans Association. We've worked, staff and I have worked with Nicole and David on that agreement. We've also met with John Henneback, Charles, and David Laddick. And so I think we're at a point where they understand and are in agreement with this rental agreement. And so we're bringing it before y'all for approval.
It's like $7 a year or something like that. I'm trying to remember. Read through that. Any questions from council? This is a good thing that's going to happen. I'm glad they're pleased with it. I know there's a lot of planning that's got to go into it, fundraising, everything else, but it's a good start. Anyone opposed then to making this consent item number 4? Georgia Power Lighting Agreement, item 2.
Okay. This is a requirement by Georgia Power for project PI 0016466, which is State Route 8 from Rocky Branch Road to State Route 61. Per GDOT, this project proposes to install a single-lane roundabout at the intersection of CS 919/Rocky Branch Road, 804/Villa Trace, and US 78 State Route 8 West Bankhead Highway, and replace an existing traffic signal with a multi-lane roundabout at the intersection of State Route 61, State Route 101, Industrial Boulevard, and US 78 State Route 8 West Bankhead Highway. They anticipate the construction to start possibly in July of 2027, and the construction time frame is approximately 2 years. So it is expected to be completed around the summer of 2029. They did say, please note that this is a timeline and it could change due to multiple factors, so the dates are not complete or concrete. I worked with our city engineer, Mark Teal, regarding what the monthly bill amount would be once these lights are installed. I know this seems very preliminary considering the construction will not begin until 2027, but this is the process that Georgia Power goes through in GDOT. So it's going to total about $900 a month once these lights are up and running.
Any questions from council? It's hard to argue with good lighting around these things because there'll probably be less accidents and it's safer. Anyone opposed to making this consent item number 5? Wait a second, do I have this twice?
Nope.
Oh, the
That's another
Bankhead,
one.
yes, there we go, West Wilson, the other location. Georgia Power and Lighting Agreement over on Bankhead and West Wilson, Candler, Westview.
Yes. There was a request to look into getting better lighting in that area of West Bankhead Highway, West Wilson Street, Candler Street, Westview Street, and upgrade 3 lights from HID to LED and 3 of the alleyways between South Carroll Road and Westview Drive. Again, in working with Mark Teal, we reached out to Georgia Power. They came out and reviewed, provided a plan. And it was going to be a one-time payment along with the monthly, lighting utility payment. But right now, the monthly or the annual payment, one-time payment is $24,600. We do have some remaining LMIG supplemental funds that we could use to pay for this. Thank you for bringing that up. That is what the lights will look like. They're not the real, I would say, real pretty decorative lights for right now. I think that would be a lot more expensive and a lot more time consuming considering they have to go underground, do all of that. But at least this would be something to get more light in the area. So this would be something that we would see if you would be interested in approving and moving forward on.
Questions from council?
No, but since we're talking about lighting, then someone needs to go up Carroll Road after dark. I've seen a few lights that aren't working right on Carroll Road.
Okay.
Yeah, usually what do we do? They used to have us just tape them, and then Georgia Power would come in and fix them. Is that correct?
Probably, is that?
That's who did had to
Yes.
take care of the,
That's
there you
correct.
go.
We
Okay.
have stickers. We should have stickers, and we just put them on the pole and let Georgia Power know, and then they'll come
Okay.
repair the lights.
those businesses down there will appreciate when that one was out in the alleyway, and there's a few hairdressers that are there after dark, and sometimes just one or two people, and so there's been some concern at times both on Wilson and on the alleyway area. Because every now and then, there's some characters that kind of hang around down there, and the additional lighting will be appreciated. Anyone, if there's no other questions, anyone opposed? Okay, yes, Councilman Warmoth?
I don't really have a question, more so a comment. I just want to say that this is a great first step of making that side of the tracks in downtown more pedestrian friendly. So I appreciate you guys bringing this to council.
Councilman McCoy?
Refresh our memories. What's the LMIG supplemental funds and why and that they're not designated? Can refresh my memory what that is and why are they undesignated?
Okay. We, have two types of LMIG, the local, what is it called? Maintenance,
Used to be LARP,
LARP, yeah,
but, yeah, local maintenance,
intergovernmental grant.
The
Yeah.
only one who forgets those things.
We receive, that's not supplemental for, and we build that up for resurfacing. Then we have, they will open it up for, I guess, when they have extra funds that have not been used and ask for cities and counties to apply for supplemental funds. When you apply for those supplemental funds, you put in maybe some projects that you would like to spend that money on. We had a couple of projects that we had that were overestimated in their cost. So we don't have to return the funds back to GDOT, but we have to spend it on certain types of projects, and this type of project would be one that we could spend it on.
Okay, and so is the full amount that is estimated in those funds?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Local Maintenance Improvement Grant. Thank you, Clerk.
Anything else? Anyone opposed to making this consent item number 6? Item 4, consideration of December 26, 2025 as an employee paid holiday.
Yes, and looking at the calendar, as you know, we already have off for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. This year, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day fall on Wednesday and Thursday. So I reached out or had discussions with our Human Resources Director and said, just poll around surrounding governments and anybody in your contact, and let's just see what other government entities are doing as far as having off on Wednesday, Thursday, and then coming back Friday, then to be off again on Saturday, Sunday for the ones who work just the 40-hour weeks. So that's what that chart is just showing you that it looks like surrounding county and cities around us are actually taking the extra or allowing their employees to have an extra paid holiday for the 26th. There are some that are in yellow, which means they have not quite made a decision yet. One of those in yellow is waiting on the decision that is made here to see what they do. That's what I've been told.
Who could that be?
Yeah. So, there's all kinds of different scenarios. Douglasville, I believe last year decided for the next 3 years they would give their employees the whole week off. But I just wanted to kind of show you that most entities that responded or that we reached out, mostly the surrounding ones, you can see that most of them are allowing the Friday, the 26th, to be a paid holiday just for this year. I'm not asking for this to be something that's
That
every
was my
year.
only question.
Yes, this
'Cause
would just be
it
the way
looked
that
that way.
the calendar falls would just be December 26, 2025.
I would say if you would like to have 2 weeks off at Christmas, that's when you want to stay in the employment of the education system.
Yeah.
loved my husband being there, spring break, summer, you know, you can pick up an extra job or whatever.
And let me say, I mean, I know maybe the comment may be made that, well, people have vacation, they can take vacation, which is true. People do have vacation, they can take a vacation that day. But because it falls on a Friday, 2 days prior to them already being off, somebody's gonna have to come in if we are open in, you know, community development, at City Hall, at Parks and Rec, at the library. So this just allows everybody to extend just one more day for this year just because of the extension.
All right, council questions? Yes, Councilman McCoy.
When I worked for the state, we did a thing where there were some state holidays, like we never got off for President's Day, a state holiday, and which I don't even know the name of because nobody ever took off for it, and Columbus Day or Veterans Day. I think we would work those holidays and then defer them to get that whole week off at Christmas. And then the only good thing about the recession was they told us that us not being there saved them money, so we had to take a mandatory week of vacation after that. So I miss and I love that 2 weeks off. It was a little wonky how they did it, but anyway, my whole point with that being is, have we ever thought of for that week of Christmas or to give the employees maybe a little more time of like deferring some of the holidays that we take? I'm just throwing it out there as an idea next year when y'all do the calendar. But some of the holidays, like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure y'all are off for Columbus Day, but oh, you aren't? Okay, but they would defer those and do that. So
Yeah, I think that's something we can at least consider. Yeah, you go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning.
So, in some of the talks with the cities and counties, as I was collecting this information, have instituted what they've considered flex days every year, and it's at the city manager's discretion to use those flex days in a situation that happens like this, where the holiday butts up to a weekend. Instead of giving you days off, making you come to work for one day and then you're off again, they've instituted that into their holiday schedule at a city manager's discretion. So that's something that we've played around with. So I think I'll probably have a couple of options to present for the holiday schedule next year.
Yeah, where maybe you can switch something. And I get it, because think about people going out of town, you know, having to be back for one day when you could really have that extended weekend with your family at Christmas or whatever. I can see how that would be a nice advantage. Well, y'all, we need to come to a consensus one way or another on how we feel about consideration of December 26th being a paid holiday.
I think it's a great idea.
I do too.
Anyone opposed to making this consent item number 7? I don't know what we're going to do Tuesday.
The employees are going to be very happy, so thank y'all very, very much. No,
We could stretch
seriously,
this
thank
meeting
you.
out a lot longer.
I'm talking about for the holiday.
No, I know.
We strive to make the employees
And
happy.
stretching the meetings out
Well,
long.
we
I know.
appreciate it, and I know that they're going to be very, when we just briefly discussed it at the agenda meeting, I mean, the eyes just lit up, and so it means a lot, but appreciate it.
Anything else from management before we move into executive session? Anything else from anybody? Okay, we will move into executive session.
Is she going to read out the reason?
Yes, it's fine, whichever you prefer.
Yeah. Thank you, Danny.
The council and mayor would like to have an executive session meeting to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action or dismissal or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee as provided in Georgia Code Section 5014-3B2.
I'll
And
make a
before
motion,
we-
even though we don't make motions to that effect.
But hang on, I'll go ahead and review the agenda real quick here. If you see anything different from what I call out, say so. All right, consent item 1, auction of non-running retired vehicles. Number 2, the citywide cleanup. Number 3, development regulations revision. Number 4, rental agreement with the Villa Rica Military Veterans Association. Number 5, the Georgia Power Lighting Agreement that involves Rocky Road. Number 6, Georgia Power Lighting Agreement on the areas of Bankhead, West Wilson, Candler area. And item number 7, consent, is consideration of the December 26th employee paid holiday.
Sounds good.
All righty.
So
We'll move into